Welcome everyone. I'm happy to deliver this short lecture about decision making in chess and sport. My name is Tamas Sterbenz. I'm a Vice-Rector of the University of Physical Education in Budapest. I chose this topic because my research area is decision making, and I agree with the Nobel laureate Herbert Simon, who said human behavior can be understood by decisions. First, let me give you some background information about my former basketball career. As I told you, I used to be a basketball player, and after my playing career, I became a coach on different level. For example, of the Hungarian women's national team. I got my PhD in decision making, economics, and my research area in sports science, decisions. I analyze the decisions of players, coaches, managers. I never been a serious competitive chess player, but I played correspondence chess for decades, and I collected lots of information about chess as a serious hobby. Let me start the presentation about basketball. If we take a look at this situation, we can summarize basketball is a game of uncertainty and time pressure in decision making. In basketball, the ratio of mistakes are quite high. The shooting percentage is usually about 50%, but the goal is to make more points in 80 or 90 offenses than the opponent team. Teams are consist of 5 players, but the roles are very flexible, not like in chess, where bishop never can jump like knight. We can say basketball is an ill-structured problem. Any decision can be discussable. We cannot give black and white answers. And let's see chess. Chess is a perfect information game. Sequential. Each player has to make around 40 moves. There is no uncertainty. Everything is clear. The players have perfect information about the position, and we know all capabilities of each pieces. The goal is simple: checkmating our opponents. Chess is a very complex game. In a common position, there are around 30-35 alternatives, which must be analyzed during on average 3 minutes thinking time. In this slide, I summarize some researches on chess because in the first slide, I showed you one picture from the famous experiments from De Groot. The first real scientific experiment was conducted by De Groot in the Dutch scientists about a pattern recognition. The position was used in this first scientific research, and his results showed that grandmasters were able to see more in 5 seconds than the candidate master in 15 minutes. De Groot's results showed the main difference between the weak and strong players is the number and size of patterns, and the so-called chunks. After his famous experiments, chess became an ideal laboratory for analyzing human decisions. Some very interesting books were written by grandmasters, for example, Grandmaster Kotov, and his decision theory is well known. But psychologists, for example, Professor Gobet, also contributed to understand decision-making in chess. Modern scientific researchers try to understand the process of expertise and the role of pattern recognition. Even Herbert Simon contributed to this field. Studying artificial intelligence also contributes to understand how decision-making processes work in physical sports like basketball, not only in chess. Let me show you a basketball player and analyze how should he think in this situation. According to the bounded rational theory, in the picture, a player with the ball has 3 options: shooting, passing, or dribbling the ball. If he would be able to calculate of each option's values, he would choose the best and the last option, which is the dribble, but due to the time pressure, he should choose the first option, which exceed an aspirational level, which is 1 point in each ball possession in basketball. And this is not the maximum, the 3 point in basketball. In this situation, the first option is good enough, so the player has to take a shot and not considering any other alternatives. We should know our brain works sequentially and consider alternatives in an order, so it's crucial for the best players to be able to find the best option first. In this picture, I like to illustrate the aspirational level, what good enough means for a chess player. In human decision making, when we are not able to choose the best options, like in basketball we have no time due to the time pressure, aspirational level is very important. If we take a look at this picture, we can see a chess player, a girl, who was not satisfied with giving a checkmate, but were happy to find an even better move, a pawn promotion to queen h8, which was much more interesting for her, for a girl who played her first competition. And of course, of her father, me, who took a picture and used now for illustration of importance of aspiration level. Well, we can conclude aspiration level is different in each sport, and our task is to teach players to adopt the decision-making method to the specific circumstances. In the last part of the presentation, I like to show our own research about strategic and tactical decisions. To understand the experiment, I summarized the thinking system by Nobel laureate Daniel Kahneman, and according to his theory, humans can think fast or slow. Fast, which is unconscious, effortless, associative, and skilled, or slow, which is reflective, controlled, deductive, rule-following. In sport, as basketball, players can only use their fast thinking method, so coaches have to improve this thinking method. But in chess, players can use both. In some situations, they can rely on their intuition, in the fast thinking, and on other situations, they use their slow thinking method and calculate the following consequences. From scientific point of view, it's an interesting question if in which situation can we rely on our feelings, fast thinking, and on which we have to calculate by slow thinking. In our research, with Grandmaster Zoltán Medvegy, who is a PhD student in our university, we separated positions to strategic and tactical decisions and analyzed when decision makers got more time to think whether the quality of moves should be improved or not. And as our research showed, there are differences between masters, advanced or intermediate players, but the most interesting thing was in that in strategic positions, more time has not improved the quality of moves in general, but in tactical, you can see in the right side of the slide, in tactical situations, more time offer better opportunity to find a better moves. Of course, the slow thinking can help in tactics, because in the experiment we used 5 minutes for slow thinking and just 5-10 seconds for a fast thinking. For further research, we assume masters are able to find patterns by intuition, but for an average player like me, slow thinking method is appropriate in tactical, but not in strategic situation. And I'd like to summarize what can we learn from chess from sports like basketball, and what can we learn from chess for other sports for both games. And we can say we have to learn relevant cues and relevant patterns which can be used by unconscious level with lots of confidence. We should not fear of mistakes, but prompt feedbacks help to improve quality of decision making. We can say there is no trade-off between speed and accuracy. So fast thinking method system crucial, not just in sports and basketball, but in chess as well. I hope in the near future our researchers can contribute to understand deeper our decision-making processes. So if you have any question or suggestion, please let us know. Thank you for paying attention.